All right, all right, all right.
All right. Welcome back to Slocks and Locks. I'm Tim.
And this is Mello.
All right. Quick disclaimer before we start. This channel focuses on psychology, design, culture of modern gaming, and internet entertainment. These discussions are educational, analytical, and not intended to promote real money gaming.
No
We realize,
promotion. We're
yeah,
not
I know.
promoting Tim.
We have to add this disclaimer to all these videos. Otherwise, you won't be able to see them. Anyhow, but let's jump into this episode. Today's episode is less about digital real games and more about internet culture, completely changed internet entertainment itself. Uh, in the previous episode, we did talk about how the internet, we're kind of just going along that theme. There's more of this as we see and as we broaden out of a lot of these concepts. But I really think the internet destroyed patience. We mentioned this in the previous video. And if you think about it, growing up, you waited a week or two for a TV episode. I had to drop like Lost. That was one of those episodes where every week you sat on the edge of your seat. I don't know if you're a big Lost fan or not. There, Mello.
I binged it, so I didn't have that issue.
Yeah, but there's always remember the weekly episodes you used to wait for. Movies were slower, games are slower, everything had build up. But now it's instant gratification. It's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Reels, reaction clips. Everything is instant, faster, louder, emotional. And honestly, I think a lot of modern online gaming evolved exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's all about content. Yeah, it's all about content, Tim. Content, content, content. And I think that's why Pragmatic became such a massive force online because they didn't really build traditional casino style products. They built internet entertainment systems. That sounds dramatic until you look at all the games, the massive multipliers, the bonus features, the crazy volatility. And if you don't think they have like insane volatility, they just make games with more volatility. Chaotic pacing, I guess that's more volatility. And big reaction moments when played the 500 spins to get to that volatility payout. These experiences are basically engineered for YouTube thumbnails, kick clips, TikTok reactions, streaming highlights. You can see them on many shorts of players where they go and they actually win on these games because they've played there for hours. Anyway, we don't do that because we don't promote gaming. No promotion. No gaming promotion, Tim. Anyway, all right, fine. Pragmatic understood something really early that modern online gaming wasn't competing with casinos anymore. It was competing with the internet itself. Content, content, content.
And honestly, that's why this episode is interesting and I think fascinating for both of us because today we're using two games, Big Bass Splash and Gates of Olympus, to explain how modern digital real games became internet entertainment products, not just probability games.
And what's funny is that these two games are completely different stylistically. Big Bass Splash is friendly, cartoonish, I would say hokey, casual, and progression based. Then Gates of Olympus is basically Zeus throwing lightning bolts at your emotional stability for 45 minutes. Tumbling reels, glitter, a big god with a. I think he has his little trident, right? Anyway, but underneath, they're actually solving the same internet problem: is how do you keep people emotionally engaged online?
Isn't Zeus a lightning bolt? A trident is not Zeus.
Trident, the trident is the staff he holds.
Is it
Doesn't he
Zeus?
have a?
I thought it was the underwater. I don't know if it
Well,
was Zeus.
turns out he doesn't have a staff. He's just floating. But anyway,
Yeah, I thought Zeus had a lightning bolt, but there's another one like that had a staff.
I mean,
Mix up Greek and Roman.
Poseidon, I think the god of the ocean or underworld or whatever that
Yeah.
is. But the kid story with the mermaid who wanted to be human. He had a trident. I don't know his
Are you
name.
talking about the superhero?
No, no, the cartoon, the Disney cartoon with the mermaid who wanted to become human because she wanted her to change everything for her man.
Ariel? Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid. There it is. Yes. The Little Mermaid's dad had a trident, I think, and I think Ursula stole it. Now,
There you go.
now, keep in mind,
I think you're right.
I haven't seen that probably for 25 years, so don't quote me on that.
Where is a camera versus a screen? Can you look at the camera as well so we can see your pretty eyes?
Yeah.
There you go. Can you talk like this the entire time?
No, because it feels weird.
All right, gotcha. All right,
You're
so
you're over here. The game is over here. So the camera's right there.
make sure you keep pointing at the camera
in my
and
head I will.
pay homage to all the fans out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm giving homage free advertising, so sure.
There you go.
But they do have great t-shirts. Have you ever worn a homage t-shirt?
I never have.
Super
Don't even know the
soft.
brand.
Sadly, I'm wearing a polo from Gap, but today, yeah, no, their shirts are fantastic.
I'll
You
have to
should
get
check it
one.
out. You should
I
check it out.
like soft clothing. No,
Well, I mean,
we just
it fits your color scheme. I mean, the dark gray T-shirt, I have like 7 of them. But
yeah, it certainly does.
during po-
I'm
during post during post COVID, my outfit was basically joggers and a homage T-shirt for 3 years.
It's kind of nice. Then you don't have to worry about your wardrobe and buying a whole wardrobe. Probably do a whole episode on the COVID days and what we kept and what we didn't keep out of those days.
No, I
So,
mean the best story I have with COVID was the panic our company had because they thought no one was going to spend money on online gambling,
which is
online
absolutely
game,
hilarious.
online gaming. I'm like, and I remember sitting in the meeting and they were all concerned. I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding? Is this a joke?"
I guess if they
Yeah.
didn't have any money, everyone lost their jobs. There'd be one thing, but anyhow. All right, let's get back to the framework here. Uh, perception, probability, design. Perception that games feel constantly exciting. Probability these games are actually brutally volatile, as you just mentioned. Design create emotional moments powerful enough that the players remember the experience more than the actual outcomes itself. And I think that's the trick of what a lot of gaming suppliers try to do, because you chase wins, and if you can think about the great fun time you have and those wins, you forget all the things in between, the negative sides of that. Was that a little dance?
That
And then,
was my disappointed look. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. And Pragmatic may honestly be one of the best companies in the world for that emotional pacing right now. So I should just say that, I honestly don't think Pragmatic built the traditional casino games.
No, I think they built internet gaming content.
Exactly. So let's jump into kind of who Pragmatic is. And it's really important to understand kind of their background and how they expanded online. Early on, they released content constantly. They were just pushing out huge volume, huge visibility, recognizable mechanics, and importantly, aggressively expanded across gray markets, crypto gaming ecosystems, offshore platforms, sweepstakes style, and social, I guess, ecosystems, streaming culture. And whether people love that or hate it, and I know there's a whole conversation on the regulatory gaming side that there's some backlash on that, but it massively accelerated their online visibility.
Wow, so they covered everything online gaming adjacent, right?
Exactly. And
That's
they're
amazing.
more open to that than the traditional, the
And
IGCs
where
of the world.
and where are they based?
Uh, Good question. Over in Europe,
Oops.
I
Anyway,
should know, I should know that, but it's
we should know
Gibraltar.
it. Gibraltar. The Rock. Anyway, the Rock of Gibraltar. That's kind of amazing, actually. It's probably a bunch of like former IGT and NetEnt people.
It could be. You're right.
Anyway,
I mean, it's all like 2 degrees of separation in this industry.
well, especially in Gibraltar, because I remember we would always have like people in Gibraltar, and then we would take away people from Gibraltar. Anyway, ebb and flow, and then I think people started like living in Gibraltar for some reason. It is pretty cool. Anyway,
I
but
think they live
it's,
they live in Spain, right across the border. They did until the whole
they live in Spain.
Brexit. Yeah.
So shout out to our Gibraltar peeps. I think I think we have a buddy. Remember Matt Fuki? Remember Matthew Fuki?
Is it Fuki or Fuke? Uh,
Maybe it's Fuke.
yeah.
We're gonna tag him. It's been a
Yes.
long
We
time.
should we should definitely do that. I know a bunch of
He was
people
a
that live
he
there.
was a he was a good lad. I don't know if he still lived there, but he lived there for a bit. We relocated him for some reason.
Have you ever been to
Yeah.
Gibraltar?
Me? No, I've never been to Gibraltar. I've been to the American
It's my
version of
list.
Gibraltar.
So
But
I've been to Malta, which is quite a bit different, but Gibraltar. And if anyone doesn't know where Gibraltar is, I think we should load a map for them. But the Straits of Gibraltar. But supposedly the fly in, it's really sketchy. You had to where you go down, they had to close the road so planes can land on the road. It's kind of like the runway.
uh,
And the drop, you there's a lot of turbulence kind of going down, and like it's supposedly pretty sketchy, or at least it feels that way when you're landing and taking off and stuff like that. So,
Tim, you belong.
yep. All right, so let's go back to these pragmatic, wonderful games here, right? And discuss who they are.
Cool. Can you hear me here?
Of course.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because younger audience weren't discovering real games through Vegas anymore. They discovered them obviously through streamers, Kick, YouTube, crypto platforms, affiliate marketing. That was huge. Social clips, influencers. I think probably should be mentioned in there. And that was a massive cultural shift, as everybody knows. Anyway, and pragmatic games were perfect for that ecosystem. You instantly recognize them. There's tumbling reels. I mean, the game Gates of Olympus has, obviously a Da Vinci Diamonds kind of feel to it. So that one's kind of an easy one. There's giant multipliers. There's feature buys. The volatility swings are just insane. There's the bright visuals. The music. Oh my God, Big Bass music is just. I mean, the banjo. It's like a fish concert.
I wouldn't go that
Ah.
far.
Anyway, they created a very specific internet game,
Shout
gaming,
out to
and
all the fish fans, though. The
I mean,
band.
no,
Yeah.
I think when we play, we'll have the music, and it's kind of it gets a little jam bassy, and I think especially during the bonus, it's a little
So I want to
jam
play it,
bandy.
and next time they play a show, I want you to come to a show, and then you can we'll do a proper review and see if it equals the same. Okay.
Okay, but I can only go in shows where certain things are legal. Anyway,
Fair enough. The interesting thing with volatility and like historically, I just call this out that when a player's new to online, the theory was always around putting low volatility games, like the dribblers that we talked about in other past episodes, which are basically small little wins, so it makes it feel like you're winning to those players because you don't want to burn them out so quickly if they lose really quickly, and as the player progresses or play casino games longer, they start uh, moving towards more high volatile games because they're okay losing 50 times in a row if they hit that one big win. And so it's really interesting that these younger audiences uh, like the more volatility as get go. They're fine losing a bunch and then hitting it big. Like that's what they want. So it goes against the traditional norms of how the industry has kind of eased people into the gaming environment. I think it's a different type of player that likes more volatility, which is why Pragmatic kind of catered to that.
yeah, I
Anyhow,
mean it's sort of like catering to the progressive kind of player without actually having a progressive.
yeah. So anyhow, you mentioned about these internet era gaming identities. So that recognizability matters online, and because the online entertainment competes for that attention constantly. So you need instant recognition, instant stimulation, instant understanding, and that's why I think pragmatic games feel so visually loud and fun, for that matter. They're competing for attention the same way social media content does as well.
Pragmatic understood online gambling wasn't competing with trad casinos anymore. It was competing with TikTok attention spans. It It was creating with the visual shorts. It was creating with that kind of ecosystem. Love that word.
All right. So should we do a demo of the Big Bass Splash? I
All right, so we'll demo. Let me demo the game, and I'll show you how this works. Uh, so big bat.
We should add that Big Bass. There's a whole, I don't know, I want to say there's probably 15 to 20 of these games. And there's different variations. Big Bass, I think Bonanza was one of the first, if not the first. And
Oh,
then we're going to demo Big Bass Splash, mouthful, which has a few more mechanics and features, but they're all very similar. And a lot of them are very popular.
weird. The tab is not coming up. Why is it? Because it's a screen. Okay, never mind. I'm being dumb.
Do you want me to demo the Splash game, or do you want to?
Oh, you should have it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I'll show you what this does. Can you hear the music?
Nope. Maybe you should go into full screen mode. All
So,
right, go ahead.
I mean, it's so that's where it tricks you. The psychological trick of that third reel getting the scatter. Okay, but now we're just gonna jump. We're gonna edit that out because we want to.
Are you gonna go into the technical summary? Are you gonna talk
I
about any of
am.
that?
I am.
Okay.
Let me cue it up to where this is. There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah. Okay, cool. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do some spins. We're gonna and see how this works. And then I'm gonna pull. After the spins. Then I'm gonna pull the sound off. You can't hear the sound though, right?
Nope.
The sound is not on the thing that I'm recording, which is funny. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Go. All right, so Big Bass Splash, the technical summary. Volatility is rated 5 out of 5. It's very high. It indicates a high risk, high reward profile compared to the original. Here we go. We did hit the scanner here, or the three scatter. Oh, I did catch a fish. Look at that. I totally
There you
forgot.
go.
And then an anchor. Okay. It features a high theoretical return of 96.71 in this specific version. It's a standard 5.3 reel, as you saw, which utilizes 10 fixed pay lines. The betting limits, flexible range from 10 cents to a maximum of 250 per spin, with the wind direction, standard mechanics left to right. The top symbol is the monster truck. Have you seen the monster truck bonus? Or the monster truck, whatever? That's kind of a fun little thing. It acts
Yep.
as the highest paying base game symbol. The music is that cool, soft banjo. And here we are in the free spins. And you got to collect these free spins. And every time you catch a fish, you go up here to this multiplier thing. Fairly simple. The core features free spins, which we triggered with the three scatters. The fisherman wild collects cash values from fish symbols ranging from 2x to 5,000. There is a retrigger trail, which we're currently in the free bonus. It's a 4-level progressive trail where every fourth wild unlocks 10 free spins and multipliers of 2, 3, 4, and 10, which is all on the upper part here. The max win cap. The math model limits the total feature payout to 5,000x. The bet significantly higher than the Bonanza edition.
All right. So that was a mouthful, to say the least. But let's kind of break down. Let's go a little bit deeper in some of these areas. So I think the secret of the game, and honestly, this is the fun part of it, is the smart progression systems on the gaming. And mechanically, you kind of mentioned it's pretty simple. On the free spin side, you collect fishermen, collect the fish values for each one of those on the bonus round. You level up progression, and then you retrigger. Simple, but psychologically, this is incredibly effective.
The
Do the
progression.
level progression.
Right. Okay. Because the entire game constantly makes you feel like you need one more fisherman to go through the progressions for the higher multipliers and to keep that free spin bonus alive. And that's the trick. You stop evaluating the session based on actual outcomes and start evaluating progression, retriggers, levels, essentially how close you are. And that's very different psychologically from traditional real games.
Exactly. Traditional rule games are spin, result, reset. Big Bass is spin, progress, continue. And
Hey,
I think
and
what was
be
that?
patient.
Yeah,
And
yes.
it's really a patient
Lose a
game.
lot. Yeah. Be okay with losing a lot. And I think we tackled this in other games in the past as well, with one with the volatility, but we showed other games of progression. I think the progression to me are a really fun game mechanic. And that continuity matters emotionally because even when the session is rough, like you said, you could sit there for a long time if you have to be patient. The game constantly makes you feel like building towards something. And I think that building resonates quite a bit with people because they feel like they're progressing within the game. And if you think about, I don't know, first person shooter games or other games like that video game community, you want to feel like
Yeah.
you progress. You get a certain avatar, you get a certain skin, you get a certain weapon, whatever the case may be, where you're progressing towards something.
Monster
There we go.
truck.
Nice.
Monster trucks and bazookas.
Baznenza. That's a splash,
Wow.
huh? That was a huge win. A
Oh, that was in
mega
the
win.
free. Was that in the free spin?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
nice.
tell at the very top of it.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess the close in this, Big Bass makes people feel like they're progressing even when probability hasn't changed at all.
It's not helping that I have like a head cold. Anyway, because you can really hear my head cold in my
Yep.
headphones. Anyway, and honestly, this is where modern online games started borrowing heavily from mobile gaming psychology. You have the progression systems, the leveling, visible advancement, incremental rewards. That's not old school casino design. That's internet engagement design.
Exactly. Big Bass makes people feel like they're progressing even when probability hasn't changed at all.
Exactly. And you stop chasing payouts. You start chasing completion. And I should note that to get into the scatter, like on a Big Bass Splash, um, if you look at Big Bass Bonanza, the free spin bonus is a lot more richer than this one. And then, but the base game stuff and the likelihood, not the likelihood, but the multipliers is a lot more richer in this one than than the other one.
Yep. All right. So should we move on to the next game, Gates of Olympus?
Yes. Does Pragmatic do any non-volatile games?
Most of their games are medium high volatility to high volatility, really, really high volatility.
So like all pragmatic games, this is rated a very high volatility. It's characterized by high variance, long dry spells, just like the Bonanza games. Features the RTP is 96.5%, which is kind of uh,
High.
it's super high, but it's also I mean lots of spins involved. There is a 6 5 by 5 grid layout, which uses scatter pays. You need 8 of them to enter the free spin bonus. And the betting limits have the standard betting range of 20 cents minimum to $100 maximum.
I
And
don't
it
think
is
you need eight.
expandable.
I think you need four. But
No, it's 8. Or is it
uh,
8 or maybe it's 6? Shit. Anyway,
we'll find out in a
let's.
minute. I'm pretty sure it's four. But I mean,
Oh,
it's eight or more matching symbols
we
in
should
any
do.
position
We
on the
should.
grid.
I'm going back to 6. I feel it's 6.
Now you're. I think you're.
Anyway, the
This is
wind.
different.
Oh wait, the wind direction is anywhere. Winds are triggered by landing 8 or more matching symbols in any position on the grid.
There we go.
Oh, oh, you're right. I think it's 8. I think I got confused because you only need the 4 scatters. You said,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Mello's wrong. Whatever. Anyway, the gold
Wait.
crown's the highest value.
Can you say it again? You got to record that again.
I'm just Mello is wrong. He was confused. Most of my time on the Big Bass Bonanza family. Anyway,
Yep.
So the top symbol is the gold crown. It's the highest value symbol. Core features, obviously, the tumbling mechanic with the cascading reels, where winning symbols are replaced, allowing for multiple consecutive wins on a single spin. Multiplying orbs, winged gems, can drop randomly in any spin. And the global multipliers during the only free spin bonus, which is triggered by 4 plus Zeus scatters, like I said earlier. Are we going to get to a free spin?
We will. I can always buy it.
Okay. Oh, that's right. And there's a max win cap. The math model limits the total payout to 5,000x. Okay. You can buy it for $200. Are you
All
playing
right.
live? You're playing live.
I am. All right. Now, kind of recapping or going deeper, what Mello was saying. It's Gates of Olympus is emotionally effectively the complete opposite of Big Bass. Where Big Bass is more about progression, Gates of Olympus is more about chaos. So the game is basically internet error, emotional pacing turned into a real game.
Yeah, this thing is pure spectacle. You can see kind of like half the reels just kind of blowing away and then kind of drifting off. So you have obviously because the volatility is so high, there are dead spins. Then of course there's huge multipliers. The tumbling reels create sort of chaos. There's all this explosion going on, but it's not like boring. I mean, you just lost literally half your screen there. But every time there's a bunch of explosions, that's kind of showing that there's some money you're actually getting back. And the really important things is the dry stretches are intentional, just like in the Big Bass Bonanza, and that's part of their game design. So you're just going for the free spin buy here now. Like screw this, I'm
Yeah,
just doing it.
just to show
All
it,
right. So here it is. So we've upped $200 for this. You get 15 free spins.
All right, so the game intentionally, like you mentioned, stars players emotionally because when the multiplier finally connects, as you can see up here, we're starting to get these multipliers, and then it carries forward. The emotional release feels massive. That's why the Gates of Olympus clip works so well online. The entire experience is structured around tension and payoff itself.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think the streaming culture kind of amplified this like to a massive degree. I mean, because you have so Gates essentially creates perfect reaction content, right? You have the giant multipliers. There's crazy comeback moments, which I think you're kind of getting right there. I don't know. Emotional
I
swings,
think so.
obviously, based on the high volatility. The 100 spins of literally nothing until you get to the free spin bonus. What's
Yeah,
going on with your
100.
what's going on with your machine? It almost feels engineered for live stream clips. Oh, you're up to 17x on your multiplier.
Yeah, we bet 200 and we're at 80,
Oh,
185 almost. Yeah,
oh man, frick, I'm wrong again.
there you go, 4x. And we're up to 21. We're so close. We're so close. Five spins left.
It's like it's teasing us. Oh, now it's
Yes.
really teasing us.
Yeah.
Oh,
We need one more
bastard.
win here. They're gonna skunk us in those last five spins. Oh, there we go. We got it. We passed it. Another 4x. We're at
Ah.
25.
I was wrong by $1.50, 250.
That was a good one. We just won 185 in that one.
Oh, because is that
It's
that's the
25x. It was a
that's the
$7
one.
win times 25. So,
So how did
uh,
it figure out the 185 part?
so it took the win on the lines, the multiple lines that fell, which we were like, I think it was $7. And then we had 21 and we had a 4x in there. So the 4x gets added. So it's times 25x a
So is
multiplier.
that
So
just
it's
is that just on the
hun-
last? Oh wait, that's on each progressive spin, right?
yeah, you had to hit something with, you had to win something and then it adds up. This is where
So
you know,
okay, so the
you get
farther you go,
multipliers on winning spins, basically.
so the farther you go down the free spin, your multiplier gets higher, and so if you win more on each spin as it progresses, then the multiplier is bigger.
Yeah,
That's an
exactly.
amazing.
The multiplier accumulates, and we could show that again if you want to. But And I
Really?
think the thing to point out is Gates of Olympus isn't really a real game. It's more of an action movie with probability math. That's what it kind of feels like.
And is the volatility the plot then?
I think it is. All right, so maybe I kind of want to stay on just for a few more minutes and just kind of show this, and we did do this, but I want to call this out, and we had to talk about kind of the feature buys, the buy free spins, because this is an important mechanic. I can't remember when it was introduced or if they introduced it or not, but it really completely changed online gaming content.
Did we do a feature buy in a previous episode?
We did, we have done, and they
Was
started
that was
adding
that
this mechanic.
Huff and Puff? It was Huff and Puff, right?
I believe so. And there's a couple of the games that have the feature buy as well, but it's a fantastic mechanic. The math probably doesn't work out for the player. It's probably like a sucker bet in a way. And this the
No,
last one we did, it did work out,
no,
but
no, and and it's kind of funny too because I think these high volatility games, I think the feature buy is perfect for it, right? Because it removes waiting, right? Because I mean, you have to. I mean, if you're catering to the internet and the online gambling crowd, you're on a train, whatever, you're limited in time. So I get the feature buy as being one of the mechanics for this game. So no more spinning for 40 minutes hoping something finally happens, like I did, previewing the big Bonanza games. Ha ha ha. Anyway, now you instantly skip to the emotional peak. The volatility, the bonus feature, the reaction moment, the proverbial money shot, if you will. And that's perfect for internet culture. You totally know that's going to be the short.
yeah, exactly. So it's proportional too. So you see down here, we're betting $2. In this case, the free spin bonus is 100x. And so if you change the bet, whether you lower it or whatever, it changes the amount of the buy bonus. So we're betting at two, and the cool thing, and I'll just trigger it. But the feature buy changed the game design as a whole itself, because once creators started farming feature buys, uh, games increasingly got evolved around it. And so the bonus volatility, reaction moments, huge swings, massive clips, that feedback loop changed the industry.
What's interesting is you really kind of see the RTP in real time here because yes, you bought a free spin, a feature buy, but I mean, look, you've played, I don't know, 100 spins or something, and you're only down $105. You
100%.
know,
But if you want to create clips and you want to make YouTube videos and get track people, it's you skip the all those boring losses, and make it
no,
fun.
yeah, I mean, and I think that's what helped Pragmatic dominate streaming culture because their games created content instantly. You know, the emotional spikes, the giant moments, the huge variance, internet friendly reactions, they were all there just for $200. The gaming experience became internet content, as we said before, content, content, and more content.
Exactly. Feature buys turn online gaming into instant content. That's a bad one.
Yep. And I think the biggest change is you sort of remove the weighting. It's kind of an interesting thing what it does to the psychological dopamine of a gambling experience. Because yeah, you remove that, and it almost like creates it replaces dopamine with anxiety because you've given the $200 away, and you're like, well, I have to earn that back.
It's
Which
true,
is, I
but
think, I think that's almost like reverse dopamine.
yeah, but we also got to use the word gaming rather than gambling, right?
Do I keep saying gambling?
You do.
Uh, you know,
All right, so,
yeah.
go ahead.
I wonder if I could. I probably can just change. I probably can just AI change it, so I'll be fine.
Probably. All right, so let's go back to the perception probability that I mentioned, and go back to the framework that we mentioned earlier, because pragmatic, the real innovation, honestly, wasn't the math; it was the emotional pacing itself.
So the perception with the feature buy is that huge wins now are possible, given for a price, right? The probability is that most sessions, if you play them in their natural state, are pretty brutal. I mean, um, They're not brutal in the sense of the long term, but they're definitely brutal in the short term. And design bridges that gap emotionally.
Yeah, near misses, dead spins, multiplier suspense, retriggers, progression systems. Everything is engineered around that anticipation itself.
And honestly, that's why people remember these games so vividly. The player remembers the positive moments, the clips, the bonuses, those huge hits. Um, and I feel less about the long droughts. The player doesn't fully get to experience the mathematical averages of a full session in a traditional slot setting.
Yeah, Pragmatic didn't reinvent probability systems.
They reinvented how online games will feel emotionally.
All right, so maybe the biggest takeaway is this: Pragmatic understood online gaming wasn't competing with casinos anymore. It was competing with TikTok, YouTube, streamers, internet attention spans, and all that other
Yeah,
wonderful stuff around it.
yeah, and once it became internet content, quote unquote, everything changed. Right, the pacing, the volatility, the presentation, the psychology, the marketing efforts of it all. I mean, you see people, do the free spins and they put it up on the social medias. And these games weren't built for the casino floors. They were built for the internet.
Exactly. And we haven't said it before, but please make sure you like our content. Give us a comment, subscribe to the channel. And I think the main question we always like to end is, what's the better internet era game? Big Bass Splash or Gates of Olympus on these two games you showed? Or maybe it's a third game that you really love that you want us to demo. Let us know in the comments.
And do you think modern online gaming is becoming more about entertainment than probability itself? Let us know.
Yeah, that's a tough question. But as always,
Online game responsibly. Why does it always say believe? Online game responsibly. Never bet more than you're never bet more than you're able to lose.
I like to believe responsibly because it's believe you can win,
I
but
believe
do it
you
in
should
do it in a safe, responsible manner.
you should believe. Yeah, I mean, you could say that about everything in life, though. Believe responsibly.